I am your host, Ashira Nelson, and this is Forum 360 on PBS Western Reserve, where we have a global outlook from a local view. Periods and men, whether they're coming or going, both may make you laugh or cry. Have you wondered when it's okay to go pantyless, or how to go about healing after a divorce? So grab your drink and a snack. It's time to discuss life, relationships with your favorite sister girlfriend. Today, my guest is Valencia Joy. Valencia is an author, scriptwriter, internet show host, director, producer, often lending her voice on various blog sites and numerous radio shows. Her wittiness approach to a real life issues make her relatable, while her conversations prove she is fully invested in the development and growth of sisterhoodship, as well as cultivating and maintaining healthy romantic relationships. Woo, that was a mouthful. But I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, guys, we are here to discuss her new book, I Met a Guy and the Other Things You Can Only Talk About or Discuss with Your Sister Girlfriends. Y'all, we gonna get into sister girlfriends because as I was reading the book, I'm like, sister girlfriends?
Yes.
Like, am I a sister girlfriend? Like, what's a sister girl? Like, I couldn't wait to learn more about that. And the whole start of I met a guy, like it just like brings you in. So you met a guy.
It does.
And so what's next? Like type of thing. So yes, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, you really said a mouthful. I am a mom.
Okay.
A divorced single mom of 2 boys.
Okay.
I have a 19-year-old, he'll be 20 in March, and my youngest just turned 18. He's a senior in high school. So my house is in transition right now. Everybody's trying to figure out what's next. Because our routine has always been, school work for so long. And now we're transitioning into them being young adults and me being an adult. An adult that doesn't have to mommy.
Which
my
is
mothering will be different. Mothering will be different
now.
Much
more hands-off.
Yes. Yeah, probably a lot more prayers.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine.
Yeah. So my house is in transition there, but it's also giving me an opportunity now to focus more on my career in terms of what I want to do versus what I needed to do to take care of my family. And I really want to go into writing full time. Writing is my passion. Communication is my passion. TV, radio, blogging, YouTube, all of that. Any vehicle I can use to discuss with women. I love to do.
Yes. And it's so needed. So many women just need that. They need that sister girlfriend because a lot of us lack that. We don't have that strong womanhood or friendship or someone who didn't grow up with their mom or grow up with a sister or siblings at all. So did you grow up with any siblings or like a girl best friend?
Well, my sibling is a younger brother, so of course he's not a sister girlfriend. He's my homie, but not a sister girlfriend. But I've always gravitated towards friendship all my life. And my friendship span from my oldest friendship, I'm 42, I'll be 42 in a couple weeks. My oldest friendship is 42 years old. Like we were literally blessed together. We're still very good friends. I have friends from college that are 20 something years. So friendship is important to me, and pouring into friendship as much as romantic relationships is very important.
Yes, finding the balance between the two, I have always struggled with.
I
feel like I can only
do one at a time.
Exactly.
Especially when you add motherhood and work, and if a lot of us are kind of like the middle of the sandwich. So we have the kids on one end and we're taking care of parents on the other end. We're in the middle. It's a lot to do, but we also have to feed into and pour into the relationships that give us life and strength and pour back into us.
So what inspired you to become an author?
God.
Okay.
I've literally been writing since I was like 3 years old. Like the minute I could pick up a pencil, a pen, and learn how to put something together, I've always been writing. I've always been a storyteller.
Okay.
And I just never knew that the older I get and the more I get into adulthood and responsibility, it just didn't become like a dream that could happen for me, a dream that could be a reality, to be a published author. Because I have responsibilities and no one was paying me to write, they were paying me to do other things. So a friend of mine was planning to make a writing center, and then COVID hit. And so we couldn't gather. We were in quarantine, so she had to pivot her business and decided to start a publishing company. And she called me and said, do you have anything? And thank God that I was obedient years prior when I felt like God was just putting it in me to just write. And at the time, I'm like, God, I don't have time. Like, I have kids. I was in school. I was going back to school, and I had so much to do.
Yes.
But it was just like urging and just the unction. So I went ahead and did it, late at night, early in the morning. And because of that obedience, years later, when my friend Corey Sykes called, do I have anything? I had something.
Nice.
And that became I Met a Guy.
Wow. That's amazing. So how did you come up with the title?
I came up with the title because I feel like because all of our lives are so busy, if I just call you, you may be busy and not pick up the phone. If I text, you're not going to text right back. But if I say, hey, I met a guy, like everything stops.
Okay, yes.
Because we need to discuss.
Tell me more, come on.
Yes, tell me every little detail. So that's why I titled it. And I do think it really draws women in, like, you met a guy?
Right, like, okay, you have all
what
my ears now. Yes. So I read online that for years you were anonymously writing blog posts and different type of content.
Yeah.
So tell me about that and how you overcame wanting to be anonymous.
Yeah. I was anonymous because I was in a bad marriage.
Okay.
And there was a lot of adultery, a lot of affairs. And that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Especially when you stay,
right.
And you're trying to work it out, figure it out. That's embarrassing. But I had so much hurt because of that and so much confusion and embarrassment that I just started to write it out and then decided to blog it anonymously. I had no idea at the time how many women were in my exact situation and felt what I was feeling. There were so many women that reached out like, oh my God, this is exactly how I've been feeling, and I couldn't put it into words. And that experience not only showed me that our problems are not unique. We all go through basically the same things, but also that I was a writer. It was beyond just, scribbling in a notebook late at night. Like, I did have a talent. This was a talent that God was giving me. And it also was ministering to other women. It was helping me to get it out, but it was also helping other women. But I still stayed anonymous for a while until closer to the end of my divorce, after my divorce, and then just decided to stand on my own 2 feet. I felt like God was calling me out from under that anonymous umbrella to really show my face. This is the gift he gave me. These are the situations that he allowed me to go through. These are the situations that he healed me from. And I need to talk about it. I need to write about it. And you need to see that grace covers you and you can look good while you're going through it. And you're going to look better when you're out of it.
Absolutely. So a term you used in your book, husband. So your ex-husband
was my husband.
Right. So did he know anything about the blogging or anything?
That's a good question. I'd really have to research my brain to see. I kind of want to say yes.
Okay.
Not initially, but after the fact. But what can he really say? Like, these are my experiences, and this is what I'm choosing to talk about. And still covered him to a certain degree, and also wanted to cover my children.
Oh yeah, yes.
Because my children were young at the time, and there are certain things that I don't think, no matter what you're going through, your children need to know at that time. Absolutely.
So any challenges or lessons that you learned while creating the book, or just along the way?
To be honest, tell your story.
Okay.
and write it like no one will read it. And that will keep you accountable and completely honest.
Yes.
You know, you can always go back if you're trying to cover somebody or not tell the whole story, you can always go back and edit it. But your initial things need to be very honest and raw. And that's how I always write. That's how I always approach things. It's just to stay honest and raw and authentic, because I believe when you are authentic, you draw the appropriate people to you. When you're faking, you have to keep up that act forever.
Which can be exhausting.
Yes,
Seriously.
to keep a relationship going. And I'm authentic. I'm Valencia.
Yes.
I'm Valencia.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So are you a girls with a lot of friends, or kind of tell me about what kind of girlfriend are you?
I am definitely a girl's girl.
Okay.
With a lot of friends. I am the one that's always trying to go to a girls' night, whether it's in or whether it's out. I'm always the one, do you want the coffee or do you want the wine? We can do either. I just like spending time. I like the energy that good women give each other. And I like to be around that. I feel like it sustains me and it empowers me and it also encourages me. I like to talk. I want to know what's going on. I like two-way. You know, I don't want to be the only one telling you all my business. Like, you dish too.
Yes.
Let's dish together.
Find a balance.
Yes, definitely. But I love friendship.
Okay.
I love my friendships.
Nice. So, okay. Let's talk about one of the chapters from the book. As I was reading, I absolutely fell in love with some of the chapters. So I want to pick her brain a little bit to see like kind of how she got the idea. So the first one, every woman should get a slap Eve.
Yes.
What is slap Eve, or where were you really going with this?
Listen, your menstrual cycles, menopause, cellulite, anything having to wear a bra, anything that we go through as women that irritate me.
Yes.
If I'm in that irritated moment, then I say, Lord, you know, if there's any justice, then Eve need to be standing outside the pearly gates so I can jack her up one good time before I enter.
Yes,
because it's too much.
I know, and it's so much on women. Like, why do we have to experience everything?
Girl, at one time.
The periods, the childbirth, the cramps, the like.
Childbirth.
Yes.
Childbirth. The contractions in your back. Lord have mercy.
My God. And then it's not just like while you're pregnant. It's like the whole time, your whole postpartum stage. I remember,
postpartum.
Oh my God, like I used to go like lose my breath from them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
The epidural. You still feel pain from what an epidural was years later.
Exactly. People don't tell you about that.
No. No. The cellulite. Your stomach. I had a mole at one part on my stomach. After 2 pregnancies, it's in a totally different spot. Let me talk to Eve.
Absolutely. So today, my guest is Valencia Joy, author of I Met a Guy and the Other You Can Discuss with Your Sister Girlfriends. Again, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yes, but we were just talking about one of the chapters in your book. I want to talk about another one because this title, it got me.
Okay.
Sell your kids on Etsy, not eBay.
Yes, child. Listen. Because you got to take credit. You made them.
Absolutely.
You made them. Kids are a lot. I love my children. Anybody that knows me knows I am a mother through and through. I love my children. I am Mama Bear. But they are a lot.
So much work.
They are a lot. And they don't understand. They don't understand. And we do so much to give them more and better than what we had, you know? And then they don't even understand that their baseline is what we were trying to achieve when we were their age. So they're just a lot. Children are a lot.
Yeah. So would you say each chapter within a book was from like a personal time in your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was writing as I was going through a divorce, as I was, going back to school and transitioning into being a single mom, dating again.
Oh.
Dating was hard. Dating, first of all,
seriously,
dating
I couldn't
is
imagine
hard.
dating. Like,
it's hard. The first time I got married, I was 21.
Okay.
So there wasn't a lot of dating before I got married. So now I'm like, y'all was really doing this all this time? This is a lot.
Absolutely.
This is a lot. So I was definitely writing from experience and just from talking to my other sister girlfriends and what they were going through as well.
So how important it is to you talking about your issues to your sister girls? Like, what do I do for your soul?
Well, number one, it lets me know that I'm not alone. Like I said, our problems are not unique. But the more you isolate yourself in problems, you will feel like you're the only one going through something. So it's encouraging to discuss with other women, just to show that we're in this together. And maybe to say like, hey, I went through that and this is what I did. You know, we can compare notes. We can compare strategies.
Absolutely,
you know?
Yeah.
And also just, it helps to talk. If you've ever been to therapy, which I am a complete advocate for, it helps to talk. It helps to get things off your chest.
Yes, I had a therapist on the show before.
Yes.
So important. I felt like we were naturally talking, but I thought I was in a therapy session. I was asking the questions, but it felt so good as she was really pouring to the audience and pouring to me. I'm like, oh, this is good.
Right.
And it's so good. So.
It's needed.
Absolutely.
It's needed. We have to stop thinking, especially in our community, stop assuming that we don't need help.
Right.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay. Life is tough. Look at what we just went through with the pandemic and quarantine and, you know, getting through all that. Look at what we just went through.
Absolutely.
We should talk about it.
We have to remove the stigma of talking to someone else is bad, or I can't tell my issues to someone that's a stranger.
Right.
God, I feel like I can tell my issue to a stranger even more.
Yeah.
They don't know me.
Yeah.
Please guide me. Please help me. Let me get it all out.
Yep. And we have to
assume,
we have to realize that our mental health is just as important as our physical health. If something was wrong with our physical, we would go to a doctor who is a stranger, you know, who we've never met. We go to professionals. So for our mental health, we need to go to professionals.
I pray, especially this year and in the future, that our community really get the help.
Yes.
Just seek it more.
Yes.
I truly do.
Yeah. We need healing.
So I read that you follow a similar format style called randoms, like Facebook status, like sharing things that you're interested in, like little tidbits, stories, thoughts on like a regular basis on social media.
Yes.
So tell me more and how that inspired the writing in the book.
So my randoms, well, number one, I only like even numbers. I'm not a numbers person. I know that you are. Numbers make me sweat. They give me anxiety. But I love only even numbers.
Okay.
Odd numbers, I do not like. So on social media, I post 10 randoms. And it's just random things that I'm thinking at the time. There's no rhyme or reason. They don't match. They're not related at all. And then number 10 is always, you know why this is here. Because I need even numbers, not odd. So I do this periodically and people crack up or, you know, comment however. But that's kind of how my brain works. That's kind of how my conversation is.
Yes.
I'm all over the place because something is always happening and it's not always related. So that's kind of how I wrote and that's kind of how the book came out, the chapters came about. It's just randomly everything that I'm going through, what we discuss as women. When the men and the children are not around. We have random conversations.
So what's an example of something like one of the posts or the random?
Okay, so like the Tide Pods.
Okay.
It's encased in the little plastic thing.
Yes.
So where does the plastic go when you wash it? Or the Cascade when you're washing, you're putting it in the dishwasher. Where does the plastic go? Why do people, you know, in the airport, the walkway that moves. Why do people walk on the walkway?
Yes, every time.
I don't understand.
We don't walk up the elevator, but that little thing,
right.
Yes, we glide right along.
And I don't understand. So it's just stuff like that.
Okay,
just
I like that. That would definitely get my mind going.
Yes.
Like, oh, you're right. I do think about that.
Yeah.
That's good. So what advice do you have for women who's not in good sister friendships?
Yeah. I think that, you know, you pray about what you want. You pray about who you want. Like I say, you work on being authentic. That way you draw the right women to you. And we also need to understand that whatever we desire, whether it's romantic relationship or friendship, whatever we desire, the characteristics or the attributes, we first need to be able to give it to ourselves.
Ooh, good.
So if I want you to be honest with me, I need to be honest with myself. If I want grace from you, I have to have grace for myself. So before you can truly define what you want from your friendship, you first need to look inwardly and see what are you giving yourself. Okay. And that creates, I believe, authenticity to be able to draw the right women to you for friendship.
Okay. How do you feel about the term Drake used, no new friends?
Yeah, I get it. I think wisdom and discernment is the key. I'm always like, oh, a new friend. But I had to learn that not everybody that smiles in your face is meant, for good for you. Sometimes people are intentionally harmful. Some people are unintentionally harmful. So you have to discern who should be in your circle. And you also need to discern where in your circle. Not everybody should be in the inner sanctums of, I met a guy conversations. Some people, the friendships are further out, but that doesn't mean that it's not a friendship,
Yes. There are different type of friends.
There are.
You need friends for different situations.
You do.
And you got to tell them different parts of your life.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Okay. So you have the book.
Yes.
What are some other things you're working on?
Well, I'm continuing everything I'm already doing. So
Tell us about those things.
I'm working on my second book. Okay. I was hoping that it would be out now. It's not. I don't know what my hang up is, but I'm still working on that. I have Hey VTV on YouTube. It's a YouTube show that I am going to revamp and bring back. I'm really praying about a team and the vision for it.
Yes.
Okay. I wrote a TV show with a friend of mine, Shawnee, and hopefully we can get that up and running. And we started filming a while ago. We need to get back to filming and figure out the vision for that. And I'm just really open to whatever God has for me in this time of my life. Like I said, I'm in transition and I'm trying to figure out next steps for me. I really want to write full time. I want to communicate full time. I want that to be my career that also, sustains me and pays me. So that's what I'm up to.
Okay. What is the screen show that you're writing? What is I know you guys are still writing it and need to shoot, but what is the topic behind that?
So it's called Live, Love, and Lies, and it follows friendship, the friendship of 5 African American women, and how we juggle relationships and children and jobs and
in a positive way.
It's got a little drama to it. We need the good, the bad, and the ugly.
But the realness.
Yes. Okay. The realness of it, absolutely. Because it's a lot. Like we said, what we do is a lot day in and day out. And then you have what you're dealing with, and then you add your children's stuff and the stuff at your job and, the car and the whatever. It's just a lot.
It is. It truly is. So where can viewers learn more about you?
So I have a site.
Okay.
It is vjoyful.com. So that's www.veejoyful.com. And it pretty much lists everything. It has Hey VTV on there, books and appearances where I'll be, et cetera, et cetera. So, yep.
Any social media?
On social media, on Facebook, Valencia Joy, VALENCIA JOY. On IG, VJoyful, VEEJOYFUL. LinkedIn, Valencia Joy, and Twitter is Queen V Joy.
Okay. So other than your site, are there any other places, or that's the main place to purchase your book?
Oh, my book is everywhere. I love saying that. My book is anywhere you buy books. If it's not in the store, it's definitely on the .com. It's in Target, which is like Mecca.
Really?
Yes, Target, Walmart, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. If you're in Cleveland, it's in Loganberry. If you're in Akron, it's at Elizabeth's bookstore. So I'm pretty much everywhere, and I'm thankful, completely thankful for the support.
That is very nice. Especially, you mentioned that you're praying for the future for a team.
Yes.
So you accomplished just so far all without a team.
Yeah.
Just you, a team of one.
Yep, and Corey, my publisher.
That is amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. One last thing that
Sure.
I love to ask all of my guests.
All right.
So what would you like to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for my heart, for my love, because I love very hard.
Okay.
My children, my family, my mother, my brother, my friends, and just my neighbor, the people. You know, I love the people. I love women, and I want women to heal and be whole and walk truly, authentically, and wholly in who they are. So that's where my heart is.
Okay.
And for single moms especially, I really have a heart for single moms because I know that struggle of trying to make things work and make things shake for your family, and that's a lot of responsibility on one woman's shoulders. So I definitely have a heart for single moms.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. I had a good time.
Yes. Well, I am your host, Ashira Nelson, and this is Forum 360 on PBS Western Reserve. See you guys soon.
Forum 360 is brought to you by John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Akron Community Foundation, Hudson Community Television, the Rubber City Radio Group, Shaw Jewish Community Center of Akron, Blue Green, Electric Impulse Communications, and Forum 360 supporters.